LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up the USA view. HRC issues statement on murder of Rob and Michele Reiner. Legendary comedian, actor and director Rob Reiner and his wife, photographer, film producer, and businesswoman Michele Singer Reiner were allegedly murdered by their son on Sunday. The couple, who were longtime allies of the LGBTQ community and helped fight for marriage equality, have been honored by the Human Rights Campaign. HRC President Kelley Robinson wrote, quote, "The entire HRC family is devastated by the loss of Rob and Michele Reiner. Rob was nothing short of a legend. His television shows and films are part of our American history and will continue to bring joy to millions of people across the world. Yet for all his accomplishments in Hollywood, Rob and Michele will most be remembered for their gigantic hearts and their fierce support for the causes they believed in, including LGBTQ+ equality. So many in our movement remember how Rob and Michele organized their peers, brought strategists and lawyers together, and helped power landmark Supreme Court decisions that made marriage equality the law of the land, and they remained committed to the cause until their final days. The world is a darker place this morning without Rob and Michele. May they rest in power," end quote. A tragic and unnecessary pair of losses. Yeah. There are simply no words.
Right. And, you know, people like Rob and Michele who used their notoriety and their money to really help marginalized groups and to make sure that people heard. Yeah. You know, when people who are elevated to that level, when they speak, people listen, and it is a big loss.
Yeah. Norman Lear with All in the Family. That's where, of course, I was first introduced to Rob Reiner. Before he became an iconic director, he was part of a show that sort of put a mirror up against, up to all of the racism and sexism and homophobia and classism, all the terrible, and he was the conscience, really. And later on, they wrote him to write him out, made him go crazy and wrong. But for the bulk of his time, he was the conscience of the show. And that's when I'm growing up as a child, and that really influenced the person I became, influenced my values to this day, and that those really were his values. They were actually Carol O'Connor's values too, but he had to play the bad guy. Right. But that he actually lived those values until the very day he left us, and so I knew less about his wife until recently, but that they really did just put their lives on the line, and are heroes and martyrs, really.
They left their mark.
They did.
Terrible loss.
And what a good mark it is.
Well, that's an LGBTQ 1 Minute news story. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.